everybody. My name is Susan LaCroix, and I just want to welcome you to Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. I've been a demonstrator for about a little over 21 years. My daughter Julie is my upline. We live a couple states apart, so we don't get together to stamp very often. So we thought we would do this over Zoom and share our love of stamping with you. And I'm pretty excited because this is January 14th, and we've just started a new mini catalog. That's the January through April, and it's also Sale-a-Bration. One of my most favorite times of the year because we get free product. And who doesn't like free, right? So Julie and I pick product, usually the same, and we share. So then we upload it and we premiere it on Sundays at 1 o'clock. Here you are, which is 12 o'clock Central Time. All right, so I think I'm ready to go to my desktop and share with you what we're going to do today. All right, so we are in the mini catalog.
Yay!
Yay! All right, and I'm going to go to page. All right, this is the Enduring Beauty. Let's see, I think you're in there. Here we go.
There we go.
Enduring Beauty bundle. And this has got some fun things. So I wanted to go through it in a little bit of detail. It has the bundle, so it has the stamp set and the dies. And it also has these fun masks. So these are the Enduring Beauty decorative masks. And so I'm going to show you how I use them on my project today. And they always have some beautiful samples. So I'm going to close that and share with you the details of the bundle. So this is the Enduring Beauty stamp set. It has 8 photopolymer sets. It's got this big bouquet of flowers. It's got some 2-step little tiny flowers. And I love the font on this. It's always been you. Love endures all things. You mean so much to so many. And holding you close to in my heart and embrace the beauty of you. So lots of fun. And then the dies, there's 10 dies, and it cuts out the big bouquet. There's a label for greetings, and then it's got all these fun dies.
Detailed dies. Yeah.
Thank you, Julie. The detailed dies. So we're using those. Now let's talk about these masks, because this is a lot of fun. If you got the ones from the last mini catalog, they were like sunflowers and a few other images as well. And they were a lot of fun to play with too. So I love what Stampin' Up! Has done. So this is actually 5 masks to create the big bouquet image. And what I did is everyone has a notch and a number. And what I did is I took a highlighter and I went over it, and then I let it dry for a minute. And then I took a paper towel and kind of went around it so I could see the numbers better. So I don't know if they're showing up on camera real well or not. Julie, can you see that, the number 1?
I was muted for a second. I can't really see. I mean, kind of when you hold it up. It might just be my screen.
Okay. Well, you don't have to do them in the order that Stampin' Up! Recommends it, but they've numbered them for a reason to help layer. So there's this will outline the flowers, then there's the outline of the leaves, and then there's the details of the flowers and the details of the leaves. And then there's these flower centers that you can use. So I'm going to use the first 4 on my project, and I'll explain why in just a little bit. All right, but I think we're ready to get started. Now, I've got my glass mat out. I'm going to be using some sparkling embossing paste or shimmery white. And our embossing paste, there's some tools that you can use to go with it, and lots of fun things you can do with it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mix some ink refill to change the color so it's not white. And I only need 1 of these tools. Let me put the others kind of away.
Before you get too far in, tell us briefly about the amazing glass mat.
Oh gosh, yes. So this is a lot of fun. So it comes with, let me just move some of this stuff. I don't remember the dimensions on this, but I love this because I don't need grid paper with this. It's heat resistance. You could slice it, you can cut on it, you can do a bunch of things on it. You can mix inks if you want a watercolor on it. There's just a lot of things you can do with it. And then it also comes with this silicone mat, and you can put there's these little wells, and these will fit the Stampin' spots, but you can also use this part, and people have been showing different things you can do with this. But what I like is that my ink pads won't slide. So I can open it up and put them there, and I can just not worry about it sliding all over the place. It also comes with a cleaning mat. So it's like our Simply Chamois, but it's thinner.
I
It's so
like the thinner one.
I do too. I really do. And it's obviously it's used, and you can clean it just like you do our Simply Chamois. And I was watching another demonstrator who was using her glass mat. And what she said is, people have been asking her how to store this chamois. Well, what she does, she said, I'm fortunate enough to have a space where I can leave my glass mat out all the time, as do I. And so she just leaves it flat. And lets it dry out on here. So she doesn't fold it. She doesn't try to store it anywhere. She just leaves it here. And then when she needs it again, she'll go get it wet to be used. So that is this. Now, you're wondering, oh, I'm drooling. I want this. I really want this. How do I get it? Very simple. You join my team, right? So if you join my team as part of your starter kit, you can choose this option. This is a $60 value, retail value. That's what I paid for it. But you can get it for free when you sign up. You pay $99 for the starter kit. You get $125 worth of product, your choice, and you can choose this glass mat kit studio. It's called a glass mat studio, I believe.
Yes, the Glass Mat Studio. And if you don't want the Glass Mat Studio, you can choose an extra $30 an extra product in your starter kit. But I mean, why wouldn't she want the
I was gonna
why
say,
wouldn't she want it?
choose me, choose me. So,
That's right.
so anyway, this is the glass mat. So I'm still learning, and it will I'll get better at it, I'm sure. But there's all kinds of things you can do, and people are putting suggestions out there all over the place. So I'm going to move this off only because I think I'm going to probably need the room. So I think I'm now ready to kind of get started. And before I do, let me just point out one more thing. Because if you like masks, which I do, I'm using one of the masks from the annual catalog on page 136 as a background. And I'm going to use this one. And this is from the artistic mix. So I'm going to move the catalog out of the way so you can see it better. But you get these 4 choices, kind of a floral, kind of a mosaic tile, and then these squares. So you can use that, but I'm using this one for my background. I'm going to get these out of the way, and let me bring in some of my product. Now, this abundant mix, obviously the catalog is really new. So I'm still learning and playing. So this is the first time I've used this bundle. So my measurements for this are really, really simple. It's an 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of basic white, scored at 4 1/4. And then I have 2 pieces of basic white, 3 3/4 by 5 inches. That's it. Those are my pieces. Can't get much simpler than that.
Love it.
All right. So I'm going to put my card base aside for the moment. And I'm going to start with the messiest piece because this is going to have to dry anyway. So let me put this back in here. So what I want to do is I need to anchor down my piece of basic white. I'm assuming I'm in camera here.
Yep, you're good.
So I have some reusable tape that I picked up. to anchor that down. And then I also want to anchor down the mask. So I'm going to lay this over this. And you're going to say, you're not going to protect your glass mat? I don't need to, because I can clean it. All right, so I'm just going to anchor this down. Now I mentioned I'm going to mix some embossing paste with some crumb cake ink. And I'm going to use my silicone mat. I was using it earlier just on my glass mat, which you can do as well. But I thought, what the heck? Let me try using that. I can clean it. All right, so the shimmery paste. You want to keep it closed when you're not using it because it will dry out fairly quickly. And there's this little like seal on the inside that I just peeled off the top. Hang on to that and make sure that you always cover it. So I think I have enough embossing paste. This almost reminds me of like frosting a cake.
Mm-hmm.
So
Don't eat it though.
no, don't eat it. So I would say just start with 1 drop of color. You could always add more, but it just depends on how dark you want it or how light you want it. So I'm going to add 1 drop of the crumb cake and mix it up. I love doing this.
I usually don't get messy.
No, you don't. But when
I love the look of it. And so I'm so glad you're showing this because I don't use it enough.
well, I just want a real thin coating. So I'm just going to put them on and just start spreading it with my cheese spreader. And add some more. Now,
Yours is so thin. I think I need to add some water to my embossing paint.
Oh, really? Huh.
But I don't have the shimmer. Is the shimmer different than the regular one?
It is. I think it is a little bit thinner than the regular embossing paste. Okay. I don't know about the rest of you out there, but we are in the middle of a horrible polar vortex thingy, and it is freezing here and windy and ugh. Okay. So once you get it where you want it, like I said, I'm just putting on a very thin coat. Now, the other important thing is that let me grab some paper towel. You need to put this in water immediately when you're done with it. Even though I've wiped a lot of this off, it's going right into some water. So when I'm using this, I always have water by my side. All right. So I'm just going to dump my silicone mat in here. And it didn't stain. Oh, yay. All right, let me grab
another. It did or it did not?
It did not stain it. I was wondering if it would.
I've heard people say that it will stain, or it may stain, not will, but it may stain the silicone mat. So
yeah,
I'm worried. Oh, it looks so cool.
Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to stick some of this over here for the time being, because I'm going to set this aside to dry. So I'm just going to set this over here. And then I have a mess to clean up. So as I said, this is going immediately in water. So it starts working on that. And then get this off of here. And I'm going to wipe this off because it will stick in when it gets hard. And then you've got a hot mess to try to clean up and scrape off. All right. So I'm going to now take some water. So I have this little water bottle that I picked up. And I'm just going to put water on it right now. And grab another paper towel. I hesitate to use the chamois on it, because I don't want to get embossing paste on the chamois. But this does a really nice job of cleaning it. There we go.
Love it.
There we go. All right.
So clean and ready to
go.
Yeah.
All right. So now I'm going to take my other piece of basic white. And again, I'm going to anchor it down with some reusable tape. Like, I guess this is almost like Post-it note or sticky note. All right, so I'm going to start with the first image. No, I'm not.
No, what are we gonna do first?
I got to
Oh,
stamp it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
have to stamp my flowers. You know what? Yeah, let me just do this. I'll keep this right here. Oh, goodness. That would have been not good.
But you can use it without the stamp, the
You
masks.
can, and I did make a card without the stamp, so I will show that when I'm done. Well, look what I just did.
Oh,
No worries. I have this chamois. Ta-da!
infomercial.
I know, right?
Oops. Don't
Look
you
what I
just
put
hate it when
together.
it's so hard to scrub those pots and pans?
Oh gosh. All right. That was funny. Okay, so now I'm going to ink up my big flower bouquet. And I find on these big stamps, if I turn it upside down and apply the ink, I've noticed that some of my stamps, and this might be included, need some re-inking when I'm done here. Okay, so
Oh,
now
your
I'm
ink
going to put it
pads.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so I'm going to now stamp. And actually, I was playing with this earlier, and I think this is the top. And I say that because of these 3 leaves. So that's kind of what I'm gauging this on. And you could do it upside down. It's just, you just need to know where your mask is going to go.
Oh, yeah, good point.
All right. I don't like that. Do it again. This. Give it some good pressure. That's better.
Perfect.
Now I'm going to tape things down. So I'm using the colors I'm using for the flowers is Petal Pink, Flirty Flamingo, Granny Apple Green, and Old Olive. Right, let me just bring this down a little bit so I can work with it. I'm still in camera.
I like your sweater.
Oh, thank you. It's from Ireland. All right. Now I have my masks. And I mentioned that there's these little notches in the corner. And so they're going to line up with the flowers. So what you want to do is line this up. And this is number 1. And I tend to, oops, I want to get the flowers. I tend to just use them in order. I figured Stampin' Up! Has numbered them for a reason. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna take their recommendations with this. Okay, so once I have it lined up, I'm going to take some more tape and I'm going to tape down my mask.
So now that you've got the angle, you could use a dry erase marker. Am I cutting you off? Are you going to do that to mark the notch?
No, but that's a good idea.
Yeah. If you mark the notch on the glass mat, then you can line it up right where that mark is each time, and it'll just
Look
help you
at that.
find
Look at that.
find it. I love that you can use the dry erase markers on the glass mat and then just like take it off when you're done. So you can make that, those little temporary
Yeah.
temporary marks to help you.
I've done that in the past with different tools that we've had. So There we go. Let's see how that works for me. All right, so I'm going to start with the petal pink. And I'm using the blending brushes. Sure, I could open this. Good Lord. My blending brushes out. So I almost don't care what color I use on the blending brushes because I tend to clean them a lot. And even though they might get stained, you can still use it and the other color won't bleed through. So that's what I'm doing. So here's my greens and here's my pinks. So, and normally I would use my pointer finger to hang on to the head, but I pinched it in something and it's a little swollen. So I'm going to use my, I couldn't get my husband to do this for me. I said, asked him, why don't you just come out and stamp? And he's like, no way. So now you can, start off on your mask, but this is such a light pink. And like I said, I think it needs re-inking that I'm going to just go right for it. I always have trouble deciding on colors because, well, lately I've been tending to go through to Bubble Bath and Moody Mauve. And I told myself I wouldn't allow myself to use either one of those colors this week. And I wanted to.
I totally fell back on my go-to colors of Calypso Coral and Old Olive because I just love them.
I know. Years ago when I first started, we had Perfect Plum and Pale Plum
Oh
and
yeah.
what was it? Celery? What was the green?
Certainly celery, but there also was
It was a
like
moss.
a mossy meadow, or not mossy meadow. Oh my gosh, mellow moss,
Mellow
right?
moss. And I use that all the time. All
Yeah.
the time.
Yep.
And so I have to be careful that I don't fall into that trap again. But it's funny. We always gravitate towards, the colors that we like the most
Mm-hmm.
or the colors that we think look the best. But I just love it when I pull up a mask after I put the color on and I peel off. Oh my gosh.
It's magic.
It is, it is, it is, it is. Okay, I think let me get a little bit more here. There we go. All right. So I'm going to put this one aside and take off this mask.
And so those, when you're done, you just put those in water too, right? You just rinse them off to clean them.
Yeah, I'm not going to put it in with the with where I've just used embossing paste. I'll just set them aside and take them into the bathroom and I'll just run them underwater, dry them off with a soft towel, and we're good to go. So I'm going to do that. All right. So then I know, right? So I'm going to close up this guy. Well, all right. And I'm going to line up the first of the leaves.
Oh, those marks, so perfect.
Isn't that perfect? Thanks for that idea. I do remember seeing that online now. That people are doing that.
I just thought of it. I don't know.
Well, you're brilliant. So what can I say?
I'm in the zone with this mat right now. Like I wasn't really using it a lot. And so this week, I really was digging into it and just really becoming one with the Glass Mat Studio.
And I just thought of something too. I could have just written my cardstock measurements right there.
Yes.
Next time. All right, so I'm using Granny Apple Green for my first layer of green. Oh, another fun thing about these, I'll show you in just a minute. So if I get too much on there, I can dab it off on the glass mat, right? And then if I feel like I need that ink bag, I just come over here and scoop it up off there.
I love it.
I mean, there's just so many things you can do with this glass mat. I mean, I know it's not the end of the world if you don't have one, but you want it. You want it. You do, you want it. So yeah, to get it free, by the way, Sale-a-Bration runs through the end of February. I don't know if I mentioned that.
It's gonna go so fast. And not the
Ah,
mat. I just mean February. Like
it is.
it's already the middle of January.
Yep. Oh, yes. Oh, oh, oh. What happened? I lost my tape. I have to peel off some more. All right, you ready for the reveal?
Drum roll.
Ta-da!
Ooh.
I know, right? Ooh, ah. All right, so let's tape on number 3, which is the detail of our flowers. So there's the number 3. I don't know if you can see it, but let me move this out of the way and line this up. And then I think I just need to make a tiny adjustment or two. Okay. Oh, I'm going to have to get some more tape. So what did I do with my roll of tape? Oh, here it is. So I got this on Amazon. This is like
Is it
a
like a medical
resealable.
tape?
No, it's like resealable tape.
Huh.
Yeah. I got 2 rolls. It wasn't very expensive. I'm just going to anchor this down again because I just don't want it to roll away. All right, so now I'm using Flirty Flamingo in another brush. Wait till you see when I get done with this layer. You know what it does. And I didn't want, I mean, you could have a really big contrast with colors. But I didn't want that big of a detail or contrast. Look
Oh
at
my
that.
goodness. Wow.
What a difference, hey?
The depth that it creates is just
Isn't it?
stunning.
It is. Absolutely. All right. So here's number 4. I will confess I did a lot of pre-work ahead of time because I know this is taking a long time. So I'm going to line it up with my little marks and then just double check the mask over the stamped image. Yeah, I think my cardstock was shifting a bit. So I'm gonna line it up. This needs to come in here a bit. This needs to come up a bit. Okay, I think we're good. So before I put that ink on, the 5th mask is the center of the flowers, which I'm not going to use because I've stamped it in black ahead of time.
Okay.
So I don't need that one. All right. So now let's do the details of the leaves. And this really, oh no, it did shift. Look at that. Stay down, stay down. Wonder if I have a little moisture on this glass mat. How many of you out there have lost power during this polar
Oh my
thing.
goodness. I'm so glad that we haven't, but I've heard of others. We really haven't had a lot of the snow. We had just mostly rain. It's been snowing just like a
Yeah,
little bit, like a dusting, but the wind, yeah, the wind really I think is more
you're
the
not kidding.
issue. It's been crazy.
Well, we lost intermittently, we lost power last night. However, we have a whole house generator.
Oh, look at that.
There it is. Isn't that great?
That's beautiful.
All right. So then what I would do is I would go over to my die cut and embossing machine and I would, if I can find it. Ah, seriously, there it is. It got caught. I die cut it.
Ooh.
And then I took some snips and I cut it apart.
Be careful, you've got that ink on your mat.
Right, I do. So let me slide this out of the way and clean this mat. Paper towel. Yes, I think this roll of paper towel is living by my side now.
Oh,
When I'm using the mats.
I saw a video on Demonstrator Planning Place. Natalie White shared some tips for the glass mat, and she said she took her chamois and she cut it into quarters. And so one of them she
Oh,
left dry. So she had a wet one and a dry one. So she went wet over the surface, and then she took the dry one to kind of get any of the moisture that was
that's brilliant.
straggling. Yeah.
I'll have to watch that video.
I don't want to cut mine, but I like the idea.
All right, so I'm going to bring out my card mask and the piece that I embossed with embossing paste.
Oh,
So
I forgot
I,
about that.
yeah,
Ooh.
I did this earlier today. And wait a minute, I have another one I like better. Yeah, I like this one better.
How long does it usually take for that embossing paste to dry?
I'm not sure. I, let me see. The one that I did, it's still kind of wet. Now you can take the heat tool. Oh, look at that. Um, yeah, because it's still wet. Um, and put some heat on it to help dry it a little bit faster. I didn't do that this time. I just when I did them earlier and just set them out to dry. So it's probably been a few hours since I've done that. All right. So this is going to go on here. Actually, maybe I do like the other one better. Uh,
I like that one better that you're holding.
there you go. This is going to be your card. So if that's the one you like, that's the one you're going to get. So because I've used embossing paste, it's made this thicker, and when it dries, it kind of doesn't dry real straight. So I'm taking some tear and tape to put this on, so it will help kind of flatten it out a little bit. And help, just adhere it to the paper better so it doesn't come off in any way. And I could have had this part done too, I guess.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. I think we're good here. Bring my card base back over. Take off the backings. Okay. We're going to line this up. So again, this basic white piece that I embossed is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. I wanted a white border around the edges of it. All right, so now I'm going to take my flowers and I'm going to arrange them. So you're right. Okay.
If you want to match the sample,
Yeah,
you can put them wherever you want.
this is true. You could. And I want this guy kind of up in this corner. I'm going to lay it out before I put the adhesives on it and stuff.
What's the best adhesive to go over the embossing paste?
Well, I'm putting these on with dimensionals.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I'm doing. So I'm going to put this guy this way. And this guy is going to come up this way. Kind of overlapping a little bit. And my greeting, let's look at that out now. I've already done and die cut out with the label. Sure, I did. There it is, buried under everything at the bottom. And then I'm going to bring out my petal pink. And my little blending brush. Because I thought that was kind of stark. I wanted to soften it a little bit. Of course, I picked the color I'm having trouble opening today. And I just want to put some color on here just to soften it. I didn't want to use the petal pink cardstock because I didn't want to take away from the flowers at all, but just enough to add to it. All right, let's bring this back down because I'm going to end up tucking this under some of the leaves. So let me get out my dimensionals. Go ahead and put this one in the corner. I can't wait until I have a chance to play even more.
I know whenever we have a new catalog, I always feel like I'm just dipping my toes. Like there's so much to play with. So this is one I'm definitely glad we got to it was my first time using it this week too. I'm happy to play with it and can't wait to explore more of the possibilities and make more cards.
I just love these. I loved the sunflowers and I was truly disappointed that they retired. I was hoping they'd be around for another season. So it's one more big one. Ink on my hands. See if I can wipe some of that off. Apparently not. Okay. Long as I don't transfer it. You know, I know we just saw each other a few weeks ago, but boy, it sure seems like a long time ago.
I know, it really does. But this weekend we were making our plans for Houston and our trip to Texas in March, and I am looking forward to that. It's going to come up so fast. So if you're headed to On Stage and you're a demonstrator, leave a comment and let us know. Hopefully we'll see many of you there. And I don't know when the last day to register is. I feel like
it's
there's
coming up.
still a few more days left to register if you haven't yet. So if you're not a demonstrator yet and you want to sign up now
Oh
during
yeah.
celebration, then you can go to On Stage. And
Yeah.
I'm excited about On Stage because it is where they will unveil the new annual catalog. So we get to be the first ones to see it, the first ones to use new product, see new product.
Yes.
It's always a favorite time. And this is the first in-person national convention, national conference for all demonstrators that we've had in what, like 5 years?
Oh yeah, I think so. I think so.
It's going to be a celebration for
It really
sure.
it is. Yeah, we've been doing them virtually. Um, but this is exciting. I really am looking forward to seeing everybody. I mean, that's half the fun of going is, seeing people you haven't seen in a while because
Yes.
demonstrators we both do from all over the country and globally too, but Europe will have their own at the same time we're having ours, and South Pacific will have their own at the same time. So we won't get to see our international friends, but we can connect with them virtually too. All right.
Oh
Now,
my gosh, so pretty. I love the way this is coming along.
should have brought out my bone folder. So yes. So you know what? And I didn't even do anything on the inside because I was just concentrating on this. So what the other thing I did is I used some of our glittered organdy ribbon. I'm
Ooh.
gonna put right
Oh, that's
here
perfect.
with a couple glue dots. And then I also did something else, but since this is your card, I'm going to give you a choice.
Is it bling?
Oh yeah,
Because you can't not have bling.
that's right. That is absolutely right, Julie. You are so right. Okay. So, so the bling that I used on my sample, and now I can bring out my sample. I'm gonna find all the bling. I used some of my favorite iridescent rhinestones, and I
Ooh,
used the big ones.
they look dark on the black center.
Don't they? They really.
Yeah.
So I used those, but I also brought out, I'll keep these out in case that's what you wind up with or you want. I also brought out the iridescent foil gems.
Hmm.
And I also brought out the petal pink and pretty peacock foil gems.
So many choices.
Yeah, so this would be kind of, if you can kind of gauge, and I would put probably a pink one in the middle of the flowers there. So what would you like on your card?
Well, I like the rhinestones, but since you've already used them, let's see what the gold ones look like, the ones in your other hand.
Okay, so
Yep.
these. Oh,
Yes, those.
all
What are
right.
those called?
These are the iridescent foil gems.
Okay. I like those.
My finger is bothering me.
Oh,
I know.
almost done. Hang in there,
Yeah,
finger.
yeah, really. Oop, oop. Oh, well, this wasn't a good choice. Oh.
Oh no, it's over by the logo.
No,
Oh,
okay, thank you.
something flipped over by the logo.
Right here. I don't know if I lost the adhesive on this one or not. Let's see if it sticks. Nope, lost the adhesive on it. All right, let's get some here.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah. All right. So there it is.
Such a great card. So beautiful.
Oh, thank you. So before I flip my camera back, I just want to share with you. Here's the other one that lost its foil. This one I made without stamping the flower first. So it's just strictly all stencils. And so I did use that number 5 mask.
It's so soft and pretty.
It is. It really is. And I don't know which one I like better. If I like it using it with the stamp. I think I almost like it with the stamp, personally. It defines the flowers better, I think.
I think it just depends on the card. I do like the softer, just
Yeah,
having the stencil, but there's so much detail on the stamp. It's beautiful.
it really, truly is. All right, well, I'm going to flip my camera back. So here is one more look at my card. I love it. I really do. I'm really happy with how it turned out. So if you started with me, I'm part 2. So if you started with me and you haven't seen Julie's video yet, there'll be a link somewhere, somewhere on the screen that will link to Julie's part 1 video that you can go back and watch. So I hope you do, because her project is awesome. It always is. So Julie, that's it for this week, huh?
Yes, another video in the books. I'm excited about this new catalog and Sale-a-Bration. And so if there's anything you would like to see us show, there's just so many new things. Leave a comment and let us know.
Yes.
As we make out our list of things to feature in upcoming videos, I'd love to be able to showcase as much as you would like to see as we can.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I totally agree. So until next Sunday stamping with Susan and Julie, have a wonderful week, everybody. And if you're in this polar vortex thing, stay warm. Stay
Yes.
in and stamp. Stay
Yeah,
in and stamp. That's what I'm going to do.
me too.
All right, Jay, have a wonderful week. We'll chat soon. I love you.
Thanks. Love you too, Mom. Bye.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody. Thank
everybody.
you for watching.